gorgeous. It's like a golden croc. Look at this. That is normal crocodile behavior. Some of you guys that don't know crocs, this is how they talk to each other.
We call it croc rodeo.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, look out, that's beautiful.
They love each other, man.
All right, hey, what's up, everybody? I'm hanging out with Chris Dieter. I'm at Crocodile Encounters here. What's the town we're in?
We're in Angleton.
Angleton, Texas. All right, we're in Texas now. You wouldn't normally think of Texas as a place for crocodilians, but Chris, I've heard of for a very long time. And man, how long have you been in this town?
We've been here about 20 plus years.
Where are you from originally?
I'm from Pittsburgh.
Oh, get out of here. Awesome, man. Yeah, I used to live up near State College in Woodward when I was doing my BMX thing. What do we got here? Check it out, guys.
It's our nursery building.
Very cool.
And so we keep a lot of our head animals in here, and animals that just aren't large enough to move out to the main enclosures.
There are gators in the wild out here.
Oh yeah, you can get right behind the facility, and there's a canal back there. There's tons of alligators.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, I was telling the fellas I met Wyatt and Zayden, and they were kind of giving me a pre-tour tour. And it's just kind of funny. You don't normally think of Texas. People don't normally realize that alligator Mississippianus is
this is a very thick with alligator area, actually.
Cool.
So there's hundreds of them around us here, and these are our Komodo nursery.
No way.
We have 1.1 in here. We have some blue-tail monitors we're raising here.
Now this is kind of a prestigious thing. This speaks volumes to you personally, and this is something that people always ask me, Kenan, how do you attain the animals you attain? And years ago, I'm sure it was like you went to a pet store, you got animals, right?
Yeah, I think everybody kind of starts like that. Everybody kind of starts on the just having an animal.
Right, right. But then as you make a name for yourself and you do the right thing for the animals, you partner up with different zoos and things like that. And that's how a lot of the situations I get into. But to have Komodo dragons is pretty awesome. Is this an off exhibit area?
Yeah, this is an off exhibit area.
Gotcha. To trust out there.
Yeah, we don't want building that. So.
And so your busy season, is it usually spring break and then in the summertime?
Yeah, you picked a great day because there was just hundreds of people out here every day last week, and there was actually supposed to be a big school group come in here today.
I really appreciate this. Check it out, a little Aldabra right there.
Yeah, there's 4 of them in here.
Look at this enclosure, guys.
See the other 2 over there.
That's awesome. Yeah, they're so funny. You'll find them right in the morning. They know exactly where the sun is, and they get right to it, man. Now, what kind of challenges? I do know you do get cold here. When would you worry about pulling in your?
We bring the Aldabras in pretty much. You know what's really funny is we found that the Aldabras they actually hold heat so much better than other tortoises. So 50 degrees is
your threshold.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, because they increase in mass. The body mass of the animal makes a difference. So like if we were talking little ones, they would just come in on probably any 60-degree night or something. But as an animal gets larger, they just hold their heat so much better. If it's a sunny day and you're just going to drop down to like 50 overnight,
right?
It's not anything to worry about.
Not that stressful. What I love about your place, man, is all these natural enclosures. So you have I've been noticing clay bottoms. What do you got here? So who's in here?
These are American alligators.
Okay.
We have one crocodile in here that we're actually going to pull. We just haven't been able to pull her out of here yet.
No way.
She's starting to come up. This is one of my original crocodile enclosures.
Okay.
And then as the facility has grown, we decided we're going to centralize all our Nile crocodiles in the back. And so then we put the alligators up in here. And in the wintertime, this pond, we oftentimes, because of the way it works, it's really deep right here. It's about 8 or 9 foot deep.
Okay.
But then as you come around the bend over here where the cattails are, it shallows down to just a couple of feet. And so what we found is if we had it, and in Texas, you really have to do in Florida, you guys probably don't have to deal with it as much as we do, but we have extreme heat, and then on occasion we can have extreme cold. So we're dealing with both ends of it. And when it's warm and everything it all works fantastic. But then what happens is, if you do get one of those cold fronts that come through where you're going to get out 15 degrees for 3 days or whatever it is like that, we found that on this side over here, Nile crocodiles will get in those those reeds over there, and they get kind of cold stunned.
Okay.
And then we can't find them as quickly as we can when there's another pond back there, and it's
All
deeper.
right.
And so it's just, so what we decided to do is we're going to centralize all Nile crocodiles to our deep water pools, and then we're going to put American alligators in.
So the deeper water holds at the bottom, it'd be warmer.
Yeah, it just takes a long time.
Them.
Yeah, water's a heat sink.
Yep.
So like it works both ways. So like if you have your front coming through, say you have a lot of sunny days, that water is going to hold the temperature, keep your animals safe. But on the conversely, and we had this happen about 5-6 years ago now, if you have we had a winter where we had snow.
Oh, wow.
And then we hit snow again 14 days later. It never has happened, ever.
Yeah, that's sketchy.
So what happens is all that snow melts into your pond.
Freezes, it cools it down.
And then it takes a while for that water to come back out.
Wow,
So
okay, didn't even think of that.
Yeah, so most of the time it works in your favor, but if you have those weird one-off instances like that, it can work.
So you just adapted and moved the animals to where you think they do
we
best.
have well water. We added another well that pumps I think it's like 150 gallons a minute.
Whoa.
It's 70 degrees constant.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's similar to what we do, and I'm further south in Florida, but even still, you'll get those odd 20-degree nights, and I'm always stressing out. I can't sleep.
Yeah.
I'm always up in the middle of the night with an infrared temp gun, making sure heaters are on. But yeah, maybe I'm overreacting, to be perfectly honest, guys, because up here it's a little bit different. Now, Nile crocs are found far south in Africa, so there is a level, it does get cold in South Africa, from what I understand.
For sure, and so they're the other than your alligators, the Chinese and American, the Nile crocodile handles cold the best.
Okay.
They're my favorite species as a whole, just for a lot of different reasons, but that was actually one of the main reasons too. We wanted to bring this species here. It works really well. If I had my joke, we joke about this all the time. We keep a lot of species, but we're starting to pare our species down.
Okay.
And if I had my joke, I'd like you American alligators, Chinese alligators, and Nile crocodiles.
Holy, look at this beautiful.
Yeah, now these are interesting. And these are some form,
Reach over and get them.
Yeah, these are some form of albino.
That is gorgeous. It's like a golden croc almost.
Yeah, and we know, and what has happened, there's a long story to these, but we brought these in directly from Africa. These are the only group in America.
Really?
Yeah, and so you'll see we have, I think there's 5 of them out here. And there's 3 in this enclosure right here.
Oh,
and so we have hypo-Niles, which are, very bright Niles, but these are something different. And we haven't actually figured out exactly what the gene is, but we identify the gene by the eye.
Okay.
The eye is different on these. And so like when my friends in Africa had found one, or whenever they find one for us, we always identify it through the eyeball.
Really?
Yeah.
What are you looking for in the eyeball?
It's got a different coloration to it. It's cleaner. And the gene, because I'll send you pictures of all these crocodiles, and some of them are actually what you would just call a normal bright Nile crocodile, but this is different. These guys they actually turn white as they get older.
That is gorgeous, man.
Yeah, it's really neat.
How long have you had these guys here?
There's probably 4 years.
4 years, so they're about 4 years old. You got them when they were
little, yeah.
Okay.
Little.
They're beautiful,
We
man.
just put them outside, so this year we're going to get a lot of growth from them.
Okay.
Because when you put them outdoors in the Texas heat, they're going to eat a ton. By this time next year, they'll be 3-4 foot longer than
they look
right
great. I mean, you could tell they're definitely well-fed, happy crocs. I mean, just look at these mental cases.
Yeah, of all the places they go, they decided to run on top of each other.
That is funny.
Yeah, there's a third one in here somewhere. It's probably sitting around the
And again, what a cool enclosure. Oh, look at this little territorial, get out of my way. That's just normal croc stuff, friends. Look at this. That is normal crocodile behavior. Some of you guys that don't know crocs, this is how they talk to each other. You're talking about animals whose hides are extremely tough, and little nips like that, no big deal. However, you would have to keep an eye on them in case there was some real aggression. Yeah. For sure. So that's normal. All right, where are we at now? Check it out.
This is one of our Gharial buildings.
Oh, cool. Holy.
So this is also one of the buildings we use in the wintertime for our big Orinocos, and so in the winter, Orinocos, saltwater crocodiles all come inside.
Okay.
And we do this roughly, well, it varies year to year if the weather is staying steady, and and whatnot. We'll keep them out as long as we can, but typically after Thanksgiving, within 2 weeks or so.
So you guys have to go in and manually wrangle up the gators.
Yeah,
and
we usually pull
Crocs.
them out. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of work.
It is, and we're actually hoping this year not to do it, because what we're planning on doing, and again, it's because we have to do both ends of the spectrum. If we didn't, because like these buildings, we have so much money invested in. There's three big. I mean, we'll see. This is the first of them, but there's three of these, and we have so much money invested into what amounts to 45 to 60 days of the year.
Yeah.
And so we're actually thinking about this year, we're going to put a large boiler out there, and we're going to see if we can heat, but these enclosures are really big.
Okay.
And so, if we had smaller enclosures, so you're always, one of our modus operandi here is always to give the animals big enclosures they can swim in, live a natural life. But what has happened is we find it works great, but there's that winter part is just, you have to mitigate against it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
It's like you're trying to recreate the perfect habitat, but winter does throw. No
Yeah.
matter, sometimes a short winter is enough to screw everything up.
It can happen really fast.
Yeah.
Our Temistoma group.
No way. Hold on, guys. Let's see this. Would it be possible? Can you
Yeah, I
open
can
that
pop
and I can get an unfettered look? I know everyone loves to see. Temistoma is this is amazing.
These
False
are two
Gharial.
unrelated pairs, and we have another unrelated pair.
So there's one underneath that ledge?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're underneath.
Check it out, guys. This is the false Gharial, and these guys they can get huge.
So these are, we consider these nursery animals still, and probably for another year and a half or 2 years we will. And then they'll go outside in a big enclosure as well. They're not going to be very cold tolerant at all. So what we'll do with them is when we get towards instead of November, towards the end of October when they're still feeding, we're going to have doors on the bottom, which you'll see on the next building.
Okay.
And they'll just come in to eat. We'll drop the door and that'll be it.
That's it.
That'll be
These
it.
are lessons. The folks that watch the channel are
You can
reptile
see-
lovers.
Look at those. You can see these are all empty now.
Yep.
So in the winter, there's a crocodile on all these.
Well, it's funny. I was just going to say, you're trying to make it easy for you and also easy for the animals. And
Yes.
they can get into a rhythm to where, you could be feeding them. You may just start feeding them all the time. Is that what you're going to do in that one area?
Like that. Yeah, we'll train them to feed in that one specific area, and then the one day they'll come in to eat, and we'll just say this is the day we're going to pin them down,
Gotcha.
and they'll do just once close the door.
Cool.
These are outdoor enclosures. We're going to actually go in here in a second. These are young Cuban enclosures,
Holy, look at how gorgeous they are.
so they can come in and out here.
Okay.
So,
Look at these. And so these guys are about 4.5 foot. But these, I don't know. I'm sure but folks at home, you've seen me talk about Cubans before. These guys are smart and fast and will mess you up.
Yeah.
They are not to be
our
messed with.
pairs this is actually a really easy pair to work.
Are they?
They really are,
And they climb up those branches, no problem.
yeah. And so if I had to do it again, I would put it on the ground.
Okay.
But the reason we do it like this is for you'll see once we get in here, is that honestly it's keeper safety,
Okay.
because this allows us to have a land area on this side.
I see.
Right.
Oh, you've raised it up.
Yeah. So
okay.
the pool is there, and so the animal comes in. The animal has no problem climbing up there; doesn't care about coming in whatsoever. So
Very cool.
And so as you can see, there's one Cuban. There's a Philippine over here.
Really? What's that, Mindorensis?
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I'm gonna lock her door down because it's gonna be a little bit cool for her.
All right, I'll watch you do that. That's so awesome, man. Oh, perfect. Look at that. No drama. I thought you don't even have to go in there.
Don't
He's
have
got
to go
everything
in.
on pulleys.
And so that's how we'll do it. Here comes Cuban inside right now.
Oh, look at this.
Come on. Come on.
That's
Come
awesome.
on.
Almost there.
Come on.
That is so cool, man.
I'm actually going to drop all these back. We're going to drop down like 50 degrees tonight.
You got it. Perfect.
Since she did her favor and came inside.
See that, guys? That's so cool. Seeing
They
things
like
work.
when the doors come open, it's like when they're inside for a couple days, and we pop the doors, they'll go outside within like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Now they're all in.
That's it. Done.
That looks like a little bit of dirt, but it's all right.
And so then all the spray foam. Okay, you got the
spray foam is
going.
actually if you're going to do a reptile building, you need to do spray foam.
Yeah.
We just use those side heaters over there. They're off right now because it's warm in Texas. I can keep this thing 95 degrees.
Yeah, with minimal
effort.
Yeah.
And so the cost of the foam initially is really worth it because it'll save you thousands of dollars.
Gotcha.
You know, just in terms of just actual heating and all that kind of stuff. We actually thought one time it might be more efficient for us to heat the water and then have the water heat the air.
Yeah, but that did not work out. It costs more to heat water. It takes more energy to heat water.
But it holds the temperature.
Right. That's the thing. Yeah. Wow. Man, so you said how many acres?
26.
26 acres. And you moved here from Philadelphia, from Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Like 17 years ago to come.
It's been like, man, it's like I taught school for a while. It's been like 30 years ago now.
You taught school? What subject?
Biology.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So
that's awesome.
So I started doing this kind of silent. These are saltwater crocodiles.
Oh, no way.
Sure
Look at that enclosure, guys. Do you do feedings right on this?
We do feedings here, we do feedings there, we do feedings over there. It just depends where they're at.
This is beautiful enclosure, man.
But you can see, like, the size of the enclosure is really great for the animal, but you can also see how if you have a winter, you have an issue, and so it kind of, like I said, it kind of works for a positive and negative there on each end.
That is crazy. Yeah, like how would you have to have these animals so conditioned to kind of get up here.
What's really interesting though is when you go to get them in the winter, when those fronts start rolling in, they get slower moving, and it's actually not that difficult to get them. You know, you would think it'd be like you're not dealing with the full power of the animal. The animal is like, you know, it's kind of like I would say 50%, and so we basically go in there and we find out where they're at. We get a top jaw on them, and we pull them, and then we take them in through the side over there. We have the gates and ramps and stuff.
Man, that must be a fun day.
It is. We call it the Croc Rodeo.
Yeah, there you go. In Texas, man. Get your boots on and get on out. So they have access to land area too. A lot of people don't realize the Crocs do wander around on land.
Oh, they use it all. There's hardly an inch of it they will not use. They're down in the water somewhere.
Well, I noticed there were a couple up here. Now, who's Christina and Coco?
These are Orinoco crocodiles.
Beautiful species, man. Most endangered one in the New World, right?
This one's about to pop out of the water.
Oh, look at that.
I don't think they're going to be staying up too long today, though, because
that wind's blowing.
The wind's pretty much blowing. But see, we do wind breaks on this side.
Okay.
So what we do is like the fence you see up there, I don't know if you'll see there's a rise there. So we try to block the north wind all the time. So that's always like a big part of what we do. So what you'll see a lot of the crocodiles do is as this day progresses and that sun comes up, they're going to move to that side because it's totally wind blocked.
Cool.
You know, so they'll be able to stay warm even on a cool day.
This is. May I step up a little bit to get a view?
Step up for sure.
Thanks. This is an awesome animal. Look at the size. That's the male, I would imagine.
No, these are both females.
They're both females. Yeah. I didn't realize that female's huge.
Yeah, she's really big. We've had her a long time.
Holy smokes, man. So 2 females here. That's incredible. Look at those guys. And they have a nice color also. They have that nice.
Yeah, a lot of people often ask if they're albinos. You know, people come out and say, "Oh, look, albino crocodile," but you know, they're just white.
Wow, that is awesome, man.
This is a Nile exposure. Okay, we'll see it on the other side too.
All right. Again, more beautiful. Is that one way in that alcove there, head out?
Yeah, I think it is. And I think there's one on top of the hill up there too. Right?
Oh, wow.
So yeah, that one's almost 9 feet.
Really?
Yeah, so it's the largest of that coloration that we have.
That's a pretty color, man. That's really something.
We have enough crocodiles.
I got you.
We got enough.
Well, you mentioned about paring down, and I relate to that because sometimes, you know, you get excited, you want all these different species, but you find that certain species just don't do well, and at that point, it's like, why am I doing this? You know what I mean? Like, you're trying to get the animals the best life possible. So
that's exactly. And I like groups. It's just I think you learn more from groups of animals than you do than, you know, just keeping like postage stamps. Like, so we sent our mugger back, and we moved our Siamese, we moved our cataphractus, we moved every caiman that we have. We no longer keep a caiman.
Okay.
So you know, you name it, we reduced down our species a lot, and so we were almost up to 20 at one point. I think now we have like 10 or something like that, you know.
Gotcha.
So there he is down there.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, they climb all the way up this steep embankment though. Niles are really good about this. So we try to give our Niles some pretty good climbing situations, because that's a really good climb coming up this
I'll
embankment.
bet, yeah. But you can see there, they have a little path
Yeah.
right there, and then look at this one right up in the sun. But you can see, guys, the difference, right? That would be like what you would call a normal phase.
Yeah, this would be a normal.
And then in the water, oh, it's gone down. But
It'll eventually show up on that bank. I know that it's going to chase that sun here a little bit. Just the wind that's keeping them down right now.
yeah, this is so cool. But look at this. I mean, I get so excited with large enclosures, man.
Yeah, that's my thing too. I mean, and that's funny because we mentioned earlier about how you asked how you get like some of the animals and stuff like that. Well, the truth of the matter is, I always tell people, always ask us that question about how did you get started. And I always tell folks, you know, build a good facility. There's so many animals that are constantly available, and or will come available. They're always looking for good places to put them.
Absolutely,
you know? And,
right.
so if you go ahead and you build a good facility, I mean, and you do those kind of things. But people are always chasing the animal first and throw it in a little tub, you know?
Exactly.
And,
it's this impatience,
Yeah.
and then also they don't do the right thing. They don't fill out the paperwork every year. They don't do certain things that are required by these you know, zoological institutions, and also, guys, don't break the law. It's like that's another big thing.
One,
Yeah, this is all your boardwalk.
yeah.
Wow.
So this is what we call our safari section.
Okay.
At some point, this will probably go underwater, because we have 75 acres across the street, and so we'll probably move our hoof stock over there at some point.
Okay.
But because we're going to bring the Tomistoma will be out here somewhere,
Wow.
and they'll have a building and they'll have their ponds and all that. So somewhere out in this area they'll be. But for right now, we have eland, waterbuck, wildebeest, and blackbuck out here.
Wow, man! I didn't realize you guys were doing hoofstock like that.
Yeah, I love hoofstock. It's actually one of my favorites.
Really?
Yeah, I love it.
What got you into that? Just being a kid watching National
Yeah,
Geographic?
I think one day I went to this drive-through park and I saw this big eland, and there's an emu back here. Somebody dropped it.
Look at this emu, man. Big old dinosaur walking over to us.
But yeah, but I saw this big eland and I was like, man, I'd like to have a few of those.
And that was it.
That was it, man. Ever since then, I've kept them. So I really like them. I love the Crocs and everything, but when I get older and I retire, I may just do hoofstock. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, it's just I like the pastoral nature of it all.
You slow it down.
Yeah, it's easy
All right.
fun, you know. They're more dangerous though.
I'll bet.
A lot of people don't realize that. People come out and they'll say, hey, you know, the Crocs are they're always straightforward. So like when you're dealing with a crocodile, you know what it's going to do. You know, they're relatively predictable and how they're going to behave in certain situations. But these guys,
Yeah. 1 minute nice, the next minute.
if they get startled, I mean, it's just, you're talking like an eland, you know, it's 2,000 pounds, 45 miles an hour coming at you.
Yeah, that'll hurt.
Oh, it's rough.
Now, do these guys come over to you?
Oh yeah, they will.
Yeah.
Usually I can bring a feed cart with it, or the people come out here with their feed cups. But there's a blackbuck there.
Oh, they're beautiful.
We got a waterbuck over there hanging out in that corner. The eland are just...
Look at this, it's a wildebeest, man. That was always the thing that my father and I bonded over. My dad was an older dad. I'm one of 7 kids, and I was the younger boy, so I'm number 6 in line. So Dad wasn't playing baseball or anything with me, but what he would do is he'd yell out, "Kenan, the wildebeest are crossing the Nile River again." So that was like, I was like, okay, cool. So we would watch the migrations on Nat Geo and then see the Crocs, because he knew I loved that stuff.
Oh, for sure.
So who's this? That's
This
so
is
cool.
the emu. What's up, Edwin? He's friendly.
Edwin, huh? That is so cool.
Yeah, this is crazy. This was bone dry out here 2 days ago.
That's
Now there's
funny,
blood
right?
everywhere.
But does that pose a problem for the animals, or?
Not when it's just brief, like it'll be this time. What'll happen is if you were like, and again, we have to pick our species carefully. We can't keep, say, oryx or gemsbok.
Okay.
There's a whole host of them because down here on the Gulf Coast, we're just too wet.
Gotcha.
And the,
so to
and
get
the
rot
parasite,
and stuff.
the hoofs and the parasites will just, a lot of those animals will they just can't do it. So we pick waterbuck, they do well. Eland are kind of like in the middle. We've done well with them. We've kept them for 15, 16 years now. And so we kind of figured out, how to worm them and get them right. And they don't seem to have any hoof problems here. The waterbuck do great. The wildebeest seem to do real good too. So we just kind of, if you pick your right species, you save yourself a lot of trouble, you know.
Makes sense.
Pick the wrong one, you're always chasing.
You're always
your
at the
tail.
vet. Yeah. That's no way to live, man. It's just so much drama. So it's the same thing with me with different species of tortoises, you know.
Oh, yeah.
I want to keep tortoises that I know are easy, because if it's too high in humidity, we used to have leopard tortoises, just too high in humidity for me, and some of these species can be delicate. And then it's a strange thing with reptiles, you know. Sometimes they're tough as hell, and other times they get like a respiratory and they're dead
gone.
in a day.
Yep,
it's the
exactly
weirdest thing.
And we found that, like, we were talking about this the other day as a staff, that, you know, we have the vets that we use and everything like that, but for the most part, we found that if you got to take your reptile to the vet, it's usually not very good outcome.
It's usually not a good outcome, right? It's true. Once they're starting to show signs of distress, it's too late. That's why it's so important to be in that mode of always watching them.
Yeah, it's kind of stinks in a way, you know, really. Most dogs you get a little bit more latitude, but they're kind of a little bit similar too, because they're so stoic. Whenever, you know, they show something actually is wrong with them, they're usually eaten by a lion or something like that. So usually,
that's a clear indicator something went wrong. Yeah, that's funny.
And if it's mechanical, like a leg or something like that, there's not a whole lot you can do there either. So you're always kind of trapped against this, what you can do and what you can't do. But generally, we don't have. It's very uncommon for us to have an unhealthy animal anyway. So
that's cool. I just, you know what it is, Chris? I look at this, and I think there's another Nile right here. I look at all this work. That's all I see is work.
It's been through Todd.
Well, I know, but still, Todd, you know, I respect this kind of thing because I'm doing it. So it's just.
This is a nesting area right here, by the way.
Oh, cool.
There's actually a lot of sand underneath here. So, like, when we build it, so the Niles can come up and lay eggs here. This is a younger group of Niles that are in here right now because we kind of rotated them over last year. Okay. And so we don't expect to see a lot of eggs this year.
Will a Nile that size produce eggs?
The smallest we've ever had was a female who was roughly 6 feet. Okay. And that was so she's right at the cusp. I don't expect her to this year, but she will be right on the. And this is an area we're about to sand this area here also for a nesting area here for this group that's in here.
Okay. And so Niles are the Crocs. They're your favorite species.
Oh yeah, by far.
Okay. What is it about them?
And I like the fact they're so storied. You know, they're a big, bulky crocodile, which I really like. And they come in there's a variety of coloration with the animal too, you know. And I also like their personalities. They actually are easy to work around as a general rule. Now we have some that are just, you know, crazy, but I would say 90% of ours are relatively easy to work around. So this is a grow out enclosure. And I think there's 31 in here. 31. Look over there's one of those key positives over. They just stand out so well.
Well, here's something interesting. It's cool, right?
Yeah.
But look at the Crocs, guys. It's definitely in the 60s right now with that wind blowing.
Oh yeah.
They're up on the bank and they got their mouths open. They're actually warm.
Oh yeah, where they're at too. This pond stays really warm. Now we built this to simulate a river.
This looks cool, yeah.
So this is longer than a football field. And it has variable depth. So you have crocodiles basking down here right now, and it's about 10-ish feet right there. And then as you come through here, it shallows to about 4 to 6 feet. And then as you get down here, it goes to 20 feet. So, and then they have hillsides to climb up on. And then they have the flat area over here that they can come up and, you know, we feed a lot of this section, which is why you see that runway right there.
Yeah,
come on that runway, we feed right here for the people. So
that's really cool. Do your guys ever have to get in there with them? Do you ever do something like that? Like
very rarely.
Yeah.
I mean, I go in to mow. It's actually due to be mowed right now. If it wasn't so wet, we'd probably do it pretty quick. It'd probably be another week before you can actually mow. Yeah.
That's a cool enclosure too. That's the
it's my favorite one just because it's so freaking big. You know? Yeah. And they swim. I mean, so. And you see nothing but natural behavior in there. And,
Sulcata.
Yeah, we have like 2 free roamers running.
Oh, look out. They all just jumped in.
They got spooked for some reason.
Is your residence nearby on the
right
premises?
Here on the property.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. I wouldn't want to leave.
No, so we have Chinese alligators here, babies that
What?
we have another pair.
Wait, can we see some baby Chinese alligators? Do you mind?
Under. I don't care if you get in there and look at them. They just, there's a couple standing.
Are there a couple right there? I just have to see some Chinese. Now, you have been one of the few people that have actually, or you were the first, I believe.
We were the first in 20 years.
Okay.
They had been bred before, but they for some reason, they had like a pause.
Okay. On the AZA did.
AZA
They
did.
said no more breeding or something.
Well, they just couldn't get them to go.
Oh, okay.
And
look at this cute little Chinese alligator, man. That's a bucket list species right there. In Florida, I have a Class 2 permit, which means I can keep American alligators, caiman except the black caiman, dwarf croc, and Chinese alligators. So they basically anything. I'm on 2.5 acres. You have to have 5 acres to attain a Class 1. So I gotta get rich, buy some more land, and get there. But the way real estate is in South Florida, that's probably not going to happen anytime soon. Keep watching videos, friends, and I will get large crocodiles. But no, those are great species because they're cold tolerant also. You know,
just say it's American alligator.
Yeah,
no
just
worries
leave them
whatsoever.
alone.
There's
Yeah.
albino alligator.
Wait a second, we gotta, when we say that, we gotta show the folks.
Yeah,
that,
for sure.
I know you've seen this a million times, buddy, but
This is an interesting one here because this is the only one ever found in Texas.
really, this was found in the wild.
Found in the wild.
No way.
Yeah, he's a totally different anything from anything else that's out there.
Well, that's huge because
Yeah.
I mean, even though the genetics are different, is that why? Like,
yeah. And what is interesting, he had a sibling. The sibling was born with it was totally deformed, so it didn't survive the egg.
okay,
But then this one did, and they wanted it to survive, and it was really weak, and they brought it over to us. And there was a little bit of time at the beginning we didn't know if it was actually going to survive, but he's done really well.
so it wasn't found in the wild.
No, he was.
He was. So they found the eggs. They collected
Yeah,
the
they were
eggs.
collecting the eggs. It was an alligator. It's a rancher.
Okay, cool. So wow, it would have been amazing to find the mother. Look at this. So that's the only albino alligator found in the wild in Texas. Now, not too terribly far away. I'm keeping an eye on them. Not too terribly far away is where they found the first albino. Right?
Yeah,
in Louisiana.
The leucistics.
Oh, leucistics. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. That's really cool.
We have one of those.
You do? Okay.
We'll see him in a little bit. Yeah,
And the Lucy's have normal color eyes, but
they have the black eyes.
Black eyes. That's really kind of neat. Now
These are 2 female salties.
look at these little salties, guys. Salties are just a pretty croc too, man. Which is part of the reason that they were hunted. They got the nice skin on the belly, and I just think they're an attractive-looking crocodilian, man.
They've grown on me.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what's really cool?
Oh, that's it. There's a
How old do you think that crocodile is?
man. I don't know, like maybe just about a year.
That's a 7-year-old animal.
Come on.
Both of them.
7 years, and that's all attitude right there. Now, what?
So what'll happen is though, we found that if we get them within the first decade, and down here in Texas heat, that animal's going to grow really, really fast. And we're going to, this time next year, you would come back and take a look at it next year, that animal will probably be 6 foot long.
Yeah, so that's crazy. So that's a 7-year-old animal that was raised up indoors, and never really saw natural sunlight.
Not at all.
Yeah, so
probably inadequate temperatures and probably vastly underfed. This animal's already doubled in size.
That's incredible.
This one's got a little bit bigger already, but like when we got them, you're seeing bigger than they were when we got them.
Incredible. Yeah.
So, but they'll grow really fast. But what we haven't for sure found, these are some younger Orinocos in here.
Really?
And then we have some Osteos over here.
Oh, can I have a look? Now, obviously John Heidecker is the guy who introduced us.
Yeah.
And John, hopefully he's going to have some luck with his Osteos. Another species of crocodilian I can keep, which would be awesome, man. I would just like to have a representation, a crocodile, an alligator, whatever I can keep. I'm not trying to, get every caiman species,
Sure.
But I've got some trigonotus, I've got some palpebrosus. I need a female, but they're just awesome, man. I like the Osteos.
All the Croc species are really great.
Yeah, they're such a cool.
And if I didn't have to make choices on some space and stuff like that, the groups, I'd probably keep all of them.
Yeah.
We have a Suchus in here. I don't know.
Oh, the brown caiman?
No.
The brown, the Nile variant.
Yeah, he's pretty There he is, right there.
Now he'll go outside. How?
We're trying to figure out where we want to put
Oh,
him.
you got to wrangle him up and bring him outside.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
actually pretty calm though. He's easy. But again, these are all empty right now. These are in the wintertime. There'll be crocodiles in them and stuff like that. These will actually probably be where the Temistoma move before they go outside.
Okay.
Those are really big indoor enclosures. They have a it's a 15 by 15 water area and an equivalent land area. So before they actually go outside, they'll probably go from that building back into that building. They'll stay there for a year or so, and then once they hit roughly 8 or 10 foot, we'll go ahead and put them outdoors. This will grow fast, though.
Really?
I've been impressed with them.
Yeah, again, that's another cool species. I was over at Alligator Adventure a while back, and they have a very large Temistoma there. Just huge animal. It had to have been close to 20 foot. I'm telling, it was just nuts.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I think it used to be Crutchfields, actually.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right.
So this is the river.
Yeah, this is the downside of the enclosure.
This is really cool, though. You get this. This must be like a feeding station or something.
That's exactly right.
That is awesome.
So my son and I come out here a lot in the evenings, and come here. And if they're keyed up, you can see where the little slide mark is. They come up and eat right here all the time.
That's awesome.
They also nest on top of that hill up there.
Really?
Crazy.
So you're pulling a lot of do you pull the eggs? Do you incubate?
Well, last year, like, it just depends. Last year we didn't want to hatch any.
Okay.
Like, it's just so easy to get inundated. We have 99% of these animals are female.
Okay.
And so it doesn't take, very much to have like 20 different nests. And so last year we destroyed all the eggs and we had a bunch. And but we did actually have 2 we hatched. And one was accidental because it was actually hatched in the enclosure.
Oh wow.
And but this year I think we're going to do a little different. If we get some from that group over there, I would like to test fertility on that male. And so we might go ahead and hatch a handful of them. So.
Gotcha. Wow,
this is a Madagascar group, by the way.
Really?
This is a distinct line. We brought these in years and years ago, and so even though Madagascar is not considered a valid subspecies anymore, we just kept the line separate anyway. So, and we actually just sent 5 of these. They're on display at the Bronx Zoo.
Oh, very cool.
So yeah, so there's a lot of activity in this pond today.
There looks like somebody's over here on this
Right here
left
in this
thing.
corner right here, they're doing a whole bunch of stuff.
Bubbles is going on there, yeah.
Yeah, I saw the tail come up.
Yep, you wouldn't want to go swimming through that river.
No, that's why my son always asks me, he said, Dad, is it survivable if I go in there? I said, yeah, you probably survive over there. You might get nibbled on a little bit. I said, be all right. I said, this one, though, I don't know.
No.
I wouldn't really. Because these are all big crocodiles. Like, the enclosure's really big, so you can't really necessarily gauge size. If you're in a smaller enclosure, but most of these animals in here are 8 to 11 foot.
Wow.
So these are good sized animals. And this is a young 8 to 11 foot. They're still going to gain their mass. And the male that's in here, Atlas, he's going to be a really big guy.
That's awesome. Yeah, this is so cool because it winds around. There's so many places to kind of
Get lost.
Yes. That's fun. And you allow the guests, when they come in, they can roam, walk freely?
Yeah, so 90% of what we do is guided tours.
Okay.
But what's really interesting is increasingly we just have more people that just want to walk around. And so we're modifying how we do things a little bit to accommodate that.
Gotcha.
And people always talk about socialization with crocodiles.
Okay.
These 2 are always together, man.
Really?
Yeah, they've been together for a long time, and wherever one goes, the other one follows.
Were they kind of raised together?
Not really, no, but they've been together for a few years, and
Look at that's beautiful.
they love each other, man.
And they're both female?
Male and female.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
Look at that, guys. Yeah, Niles, let's zoom in here, friends. Look at I love the face of the Nile. Just that,
Yeah.
the
He's got some good
dentation.
teeth, too.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. You're instantly in awe of those teeth. And that's one of the ways to see a healthy croc. When you see those teeth, they're all there, number one, and they're well defined, well shaped, and well represented. I've seen some toothless crocs.
Oh, yeah, me too. So their main diet out here, they would probably be correct to call it their main diet, is we use a lot of Missouri.
Yeah.
And if you use Missouri as your baseline, you're going to have pretty good crocs. We found it's a really good diet, and it's just going to be Just going to make sure that their nutritional needs are balanced. Now, when we're on tour, we don't. We use big chunks of meat. We either use chicken, beef, pork, you know, something like that. And they also get rats and rabbits. And all these ponds are full of fish. So they eat a lot of, you'll see them out here. They'll catch catfish and they'll grab birds off the shoreline. And
so they're supplementing.
Oh yeah, to a large degree.
You know, that's funny you bring up the bird thing, because I was wondering, I have a video of the aftermath. There was a little green heron in with my tricks. Now, for the longest time, I got these animals. A friend of mine passed away, and I don't know if you knew Fred Grunwald.
I know the name.
Yeah, he was a great guy. And so I got his trigs, the dwarf, and his American alligators. Now, the trigs took the longest for me to see them eat. I'd offer them food. It took a long time. But they were never getting any thinner.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what the hell's going on? It's been close to a year.
Yeah.
True story. So there were rabbits that were getting into the enclosure. And one day I come walking, I hear a little bit of a commotion. I come walking by. Male has a bird. It's eating a little green heron. So I was like, son of a gun. They're hunting.
And here they eat a lot of snakes too. People always all this water, you got a lot of snakes. And we do have some snakes out here that are it's because it's just basically a giant natural ecosystem. Like I think we counted one time, we have like 15 species of snakes on property.
Wild.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But you don't ever see them in any grand number.
Yeah,
because the crocodiles, and water moccasins, they eat all of them.
Oh, that's amazing.
I think it's because of the behavior of the water moccasins like to stay on the edge. I think they're just easy for them to find.
And they float, right?
Float,
they float when they swim, so they're drawn to that. If something's swimming across, boom, these guys go right to it.
We had some broadband water snakes live for years underneath that dock right there. They just knew the hide from the Crocs, and they were very good at it. And so we see them out, but the water moccasins, they don't seem to last.
Well, that's, I mean, it's good. You wouldn't want to guess, injured by a water moccasin, and at least the Crocs are getting some food.
When we build our crocodile enclosures, we always shape them. So like that saltwater crocodile is shaped like a U. Okay. Sometimes we use L's. Sometimes we just use a zigzaggy thing like that, because when you do that, if you make, I don't care how good your croc enclosure is, it can be, because like there's what humans think is nice, and then there's what Crocs think is nice. So if you look at this, this has this is a T. And it goes back there, and then there's a little thing, and then there's a smaller pool in the back, and has a dividing thing. So what you always want to do is you want to have the crocodile be able to get away from the other crocodile. And so, to me, that's just like basic. You'll see a lot of these people that use like rectangles or circles. That's just an inappropriate crocodile enclosure. If you want to keep one animal, it's fine. Okay. But if you want to go ahead and you want to keep more than one animal,
visual barriers.
Yeah.
I find that even with tortoises. I find it with my Cuban iguanas. Like you gotta get these animals that tend to have territories. If they fight each other, even murky water's fantastic.
Oh, murky water's really good.
Just get rid of each other. They get out of sight and out of mind. Look at this group of sulcatas. This is a cool sulcata habitat, man.
Yeah, and this was actually getting redone because we're gonna cross over there. We had our kangaroos over here for a while.
Okay.
So this is gonna move over there because we're putting a new gift shop over there.
Awesome.
And but that's a heated shelter. The floor's heated and everything in there for us. Looks like they knocked that board down a little bit. But it's really wet in here right now from the last storm. It's not usually this wet in here.
It's a common tortoise, but I love them. I think they're just an interesting species, the good old...
Every single one of them that's in there is, I don't like to use the word rescue, but it's somebody gave
someone's
it
pet.
Yeah.
Yep. Got too big.
Yeah. Well, you guys are really churning this right now.
Look at those guys.
So what we have here is that we circle the tortoise yard, and when on muddy days, we can open this right here.
And they get up high and dry.
Get up, yeah.
And then you also have Fred Flintstone lawnmowers. They take care of everything.
Yes, they do.
That is awesome.
Yeah, so we have two big enclosures over here that are sitting empty right now, but I used to do crocodile monitors a lot.
Okay.
It's the only species monitor I've kept that I haven't hatched, other than my blue tails, which we're trying to do right now. So I really would like to get back to them, just from a challenge standpoint.
Right.
So we have, I like to put them in here.
Yeah, that's a cool enclosure.
There's our leucistic.
Oh, right on. Yeah, this great croc enclosure, croc monitor.
Yeah.
Just, you know, you just watch whatever
Yeah,
the corrugated stuff.
Correct, yeah. We'll probably end up putting another wire.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that's so cool. So that's the leucistic,
Yeah.
and that's the one, what's its name?
That's Blanco. He spent 30 some years in the Houston Zoo,
Really?
and then he retired, and they sent him down here. So
Not too
he's
far.
been with us for probably 8 years now.
Okay.
And he's done really, really well in here and everything. The only thing with these guys you always gotta watch is unlike those yellow Niles, these guys do sunburn.
Gotcha, that's why the cover.
That's why we put the cover. But we find that like if we keep some subdued, like we leave this portion over here open, and he will come out and bask, and he doesn't seem to burn from it. So we've seen like we found a nice happy medium.
That's
for him.
perfect, yeah.
And he's been very healthy for us. And,
That's all that matters.
but it is a challenge keeping those albino alligators outdoors.
A whole bunch of crocs, and yes, even some three-toed box turtles, which are actually native to this area, I believe. Yeah. So there's tortoises, there's turtles, there's crocodiles all over the place. I really appreciate you taking the time with me, man.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
It's been a lot of fun.
Really good time.
So we're gonna have a few more videos from here. I think you guys will enjoy them. But if you are down south of Houston or you're visiting Houston area, you're gonna want to come to Crocodile Adventure. Make sure you say hello to Chris and let him know that you saw his facility on our channel. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you guys again real soon. Always fun when I get to meet like-minded people who are passionate about giving the animals the biggest possible enclosures ever. So support this guy. I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks for watching. Oh, it looks like an ornate.
There's a couple more dates and everything, a couple weeks.